Hey guys, going on back again with another video. Well, today's Valentine's Day 2023. It's February 14th to be exact. And I thought it'd be a great way to, or for me to commemorate and give thanks to Naughty Dog and Neil Druckmann for The Last of Us Part 2. I'm kind of about maybe 8 hours into the game. I probably have another maybe 16 hours because I looked online on somebody's video and where I'm at is about a quarter, maybe a third of the entire story. It looks like where I finished off last night, I played for another maybe 2 or 3 hours. And I know I'm about 2 years late into playing the game. And that's something that I tend to do a lot. There's a lot of games out there that I never got around to playing. And again, this is going to be kind of cryptic. I don't want to go into too much detail. But I obviously want to give a huge thanks to Neil Druckmann and Naughty Dog for making The Last of Us Part 2. So I want to throw some story ideas or some major plot points that I would love to see in The Last of Us Part 3. And just to give a little bit of a backstory or a little bit of a context without going into too much detail, because I don't want to seem like, you know, I have an ego problem or I'm looking for anything in return. For me, dates are really important. Now, a couple years ago, 2 days before January 15th, which is National Zombies Day that we kind of created in the Treyarch Call of Duty Zombies community, it's one of the dates that we celebrate zombies, one of the major dates in the story, in the lore, which is January 15th for, Element 115, which is kind of the way the zombies got created in the story. Element 115 kind of is something in real life. There's also November 5th that they celebrate, which ended up turning into Samantha Maxis's birthday. So again, with that being said, I made a video a couple days before January 15th a couple years ago. I said, hey, I don't know where my life's going to be in 2 days, let alone years. And it ended up being true. I ended up never playing The Last of Us, never playing the first one, never played the second one. Then 2 years later, the show comes out on HBO and ended up giving it a chance for the first time. Ended up loving it. Did some research, watched a couple videos. I know some people had issues with The Last of Us Part 2. I'm not going to dive too much into it because I always say most of the time it's just trolls and the mob mentality, and with content creators nowadays, you have to put out the most negative, toxic videos to get the most attention, most likes, most followers, and stuff like that to get noticed. There's a lot of that goes on now in the Treyarch Call of Duty Zombies community. A lot of the YouTubers, content creators that used to love the game, they found out, almost like Pandora's box, I called it, where if you pump out hate videos and toxic videos, you get a greater amount of watches, views, likes, comments, and stuff like that. Where if you give your honest review about it, you're probably not going to get the attention that you would get if you put a hate video. So I know The Last of Us Part 2 had some issues for some people. But again, this is more about celebrating The Last of Us Part 2, not really giving the trolls the attention that they are craving. Because like I said, I'm 8 hours into the game, and it's fine for me. I can follow the story. It's fine. I'm loving it. I can't wait to play it more. I'm actually trying to not obsess over playing it because I could literally play for like 10 hours straight, and I'm trying to pace myself out and do other things while I'm playing it. So again, I just want to give a huge thanks to them. Something that I never would have expected. Obviously, I didn't expect it. Obviously, I wasn't looking for any attention. Never played the game. It was a huge coincidence. Very thankful. Now I know, like I said, there's a other side of the story. I'm not going to dive too much into it. But if as far as Part 3, and the reason I mentioned Part 2 is I would love in Part 3 for it to have the story of giving people a chance, or the story of everyone getting a chance, either tell the story, to live out their life. I know stuff that goes on socially in real life is stuff happens, and a lot of crazy stuff happens in real life, and some people unfortunately don't get to live out their life. Some people have their lives cut short, and then on the flip side, not to be so negative, also is um, people deserve a second chance. People deserve a chance, and it's good to give people a chance because you don't know how their life is going to turn out. Their life can turn out really, really great. Somebody who maybe got caught shoplifting or something when they were a kid, and the store owner or the store clerk, let them go and said, "Hey, I know it's huge in Les Miserables, you know, and I don't want to talk about The Last of Us Part Two too much, but maybe." Some people might have thought that would have been what would have happened in The Last of Us Part 2, where everybody wants to die old, everyone wants to die with their family around there. That doesn't happen to everybody. The unfortunate truth, like I said. So I would love maybe for Abby and Ellie to cross paths down the road. Maybe Ellie's life didn't turn out obviously how she wanted it to turn out. Maybe she got into drugs, or maybe she got sick, which would be kind of ironic, but maybe she needs help from Abby. Maybe Abby becomes a doctor because her dad, I believe, was a doctor. Um, something like that, where like, Ellie kind of, I don't know who gave who the chance, um, because at the end of Last of Us Part 2, they kind of ended on almost a draw. Um, and again, I don't want to even spoil it for myself because I'm still only a couple hours into the game. I did peek ahead, because, like I said, I never thought I would have played the game, and that's the other thing too. I gave the show a chance. I gave the first game a chance. Now I'm giving the second game a chance, and I just want to see it out for myself, have my own thoughts. I don't want to skip ahead too much, but I know at the end of it what happens, because again, I never thought I would have even played the game. So I think that's the important thing too, which is pretty ironic. I think the importance of giving people chances in life. Again, I don't know if Ellie chose not to fight to the death, or Abby chose not to fight to the death, because that could have been how it could have turned out in the last one. So I think it's important because, um, Naughty Dog gave someone a chance in real life, took a risk and a chance. And again, I think they should, in a way, maybe continue the story, maybe have part two have almost a greater meaning that, like, hey, maybe they can talk about, maybe Ellie and Abby can sit down and talk about how they gave either a chance, each other a chance, or maybe both of them's lives turn out great. Maybe Ellie also becomes very successful. Maybe Abby becomes very, very successful in life, and then they can talk about how, if they didn't give each other a chance and walk away, or cooler heads prevail type thing, that maybe their lives wouldn't have turned out. Maybe they went into business together. Maybe Ellie became a doctor, or maybe Ellie ends up helping Abby. Maybe some of how both of them become a doctor, and they help out each other, and then they can look back. Um, the only thing is, though, I know when the games are made, they're made like 20-hour games, um, and I know they would have to kind of like not draw it out, but like kind of obviously put more detail into it and thought into the stories. I just want to kind of put some thoughts down, some early ideas of what I would want. Now, as far as anything more into detail, I know a lot of managers and studios don't necessarily want to take a chance on certain storylines. I think maybe when part 3 comes out, maybe it's going to be a whole nother story. You won't even see Ellie or Abby. Maybe it's going to be a whole nother, um, character. I know that's going to cause some issues if that happens, where maybe they said, part 2 didn't turn out the way they wanted it to. Maybe let's just scrap the whole Ellie and Joel thing. Let's just move on with new characters. Other stuff that I would want to see in part 3 is maybe an early Ellie before she met Joel. Like what made her? I know they do some flashbacks when she got bit and stuff like that, but maybe some early Ellie ideas, maybe why she was immune. Maybe there's more of a backstory. I'd want to see maybe some government experiments, with the cordyceps. I almost said cordyceps, which is funny. I did that before. Cordyceps is a character from Call of Duty Zombies. Cordyceps, maybe again, with cordyceps, maybe a military experiment, something from The Mist, Stephen King story, The Mist, maybe Cloverfield, Call of Duty, Cold War talked about experiments in the cyclotron and electron particle accelerator, stuff like that. Give a backstory. Maybe Ellie somehow wandered in somewhere she wasn't supposed to, and or maybe she got experimented on that we don't know about. I know she got bit, so I guess that kind of scraps that idea, but still want to kind of maybe just throw that early story ideas out there again. But the main part would obviously be taking a chance on people. I think that should be the message that Neil Druckmann and Naughty Dog should do, is the importance again of taking a chance on people, or everyone deserves a chance, because you don't know. And I know it happens in real life in politics, in social incidents, or social stuff that happens in social news and stuff like that, is nobody can say how somebody's life's really going to turn out. They could scratch a lottery ticket. I know it's far-fetched, but I know you can scratch a lottery ticket. You can, win the lottery, become a multimillionaire. Or you could already be a millionaire, the best, smartest person in the world, and a crazy incident happens in the blink of an eye, and it changes your life. You could take a wrong step, and something happens. Anything crazy can happen to anyone. Like I said, it'd be kind of cool to see Ellie and Abby maybe become friends. Maybe Abby helping out Ellie down the road. I know that happens in a couple other shows and stuff like that, or movies. Or it could be the same thing. Maybe Ellie, comes across Abby, and Abby needs help, or something happened. Anyways, I'm going to leave it at that. Like I said, it's Valentine's Day. I just want to kind of get some ideas down. I'll see you guys later.